For more information on this and other stories, visit nwksradio.net.
Rocket 102.5.
With your updated forecast, I'm staff meteorologist Paul Trombley from the Weatherology Weather Center. An extreme cold warning continues until noon Thursday. A winter weather advisory continues until midnight tonight. Chance for snow today. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 2 below. Winds out of the northeast, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight. Chance of snow. Lows dip down to about 11 below. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 5 above. Overcast skies Thursday. Decreasing clouds by Friday. Low teens Thursday. Upper 20s by Friday. 1 to 3 inches of snow today through tonight. Get up-to-the-minute weather updates from the Weatherology Weather Center. I'm staff meteorologist Paul Trombley on this NWKS radio station. Right now, 7 below.
This is Keller Barnett, the Vice President of Oakley FFA Chapter.
Hi, my name's Abigail Jackson, and I'm Secretary of the Oakley FFA.
Blue Jackets, big opportunities. National FFA Week is here.
FFA is all about blue jackets and big dreams. National FFA Week is here, and we want you to be part of the excitement. FFA builds leaders, teaches real-life skills, and helps you discover your future.
Get involved, make friends, and build your future. Talk to an FFA member today.
The annual filter sale at Goodland Automotive is going on right now through February 22nd. Save big on all types of CarQuest filters, lubricants, and other must-have items in the store. Be sure to come in on Wednesday the 19th and join them for their customer appreciation lunch. Good food and great deals, all in one place. Goodland Automotive is your local CarQuest dealer, bringing you CarQuest quality, CarQuest value, and CarQuest savings. Don't miss out. Stop by today.
At FNB Bank, we understand the backbone of our community is our local farmers and ranchers. Whether you're growing crops, raising livestock, or investing in new equipment, we're here to help you succeed. Our agricultural loans are tailored to meet the unique needs of your farm, with flexible terms from people who understand what it takes to make it in agriculture. When you partner with FNB Bank, you're working with neighbors who know the land and are invested in your success. FNB Bank, rooted in our community, growing with you. Member FDIC.
Looking for big savings on a powerful new ride? Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas has you covered. Right now, drive home a 2025 Silverado 2500 with just 3.9% financing for 60 months. Need space and style? Get $1,000 customer loyalty cash on a 2024 Chevy Suburban. Or grab a 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 Pro Diesel. Originally just over $67,000, now just over $56,000 with a huge hail discount. Swing by Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland today or shop online at hurlchev.com.
New year, new projects, and new deals at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware. Start 2025 with a bang by tackling those home improvements. Refresh your space with vibrant Benjamin Moore paint or stock up on storage totes and shelves, perfect for organizing. Lumber prices are down, making it easier to tackle your next big project. Keep warm while you grill year-round with their top-notch grills and smokers from Traeger and Weber. And don't let the snow slow you down. Check out their great selection of snowblowers from Ego and Toro. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby, your partner for a productive new year.
Farmers, the spring crop insurance deadline is fast approaching. Have you started the process of getting a written agreement on crops that are not typically insurable? This deadline is also March 15th, but much more information is needed in order to request coverage. Now is the time to call or stop by the insurance agency in Goodland to review your crops and coverage. See Roxanne, Susan, and Judy at the insurance agency located at 1020 Main in Goodland, or call them at 785-899-5011 for your peace of mind.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
Give me my cane. I'll show you how to play this game.
And Max Gershon.
The Gershon build is short, but calves like this big. Big old calves.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Rocket 102.5 and streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Not this again.
Yes, this again.
Covering it all from the preps.
Costa 1.7 chucks it up for the win. It's an air ball in the Colby Eagles. Victorious in Hugoton.
To the pros.
Mahomes stepping up again, tries to throw. Line caught! Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce owning this game.
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with the insurance agency, the Farmer State Bank in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Let's go to work.
Now Libby with 10 on the shot clock, working to the right. Back out to Allie. Up top to Hope. Open three. Good. Great ball movement from the Cowgirls there. Hope Bierman, the beneficiary of it all. Her third three of the night as Bierman will inbound the ball. Good linking possession. Lauren Linton open three left side. Rattles it in. Second three of the game for Lauren Linton. Goes over to Searson. Trying to post up Blair Lennon. Blair back out to Cedarstrom. Left wing three. Still short. Lincoln follows and flushes it down off the rim.
7-0 run for Utah over the last 90 seconds. There's the lob, and Moby will lay it in. E.K. Garuka with his first bucket. Clausen with the ball. He's going to fire from near half court. Got it! Oh, my, what a shot for Brendan Hawson. He's got 17 and 5 threes.
We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. It's hot outside, Max. My gosh. So hot out today, buddy. My Lord. The weather. Super hot. It's like South Florida out there today, buddy.
Yeah, you wish.
Oh, man. Beautiful. Extreme cold.
It is beautiful, but in a different way.
Yeah, beautiful.
Snow is beautiful. That's what I realized last night driving home. When I was pulling into Colby and it's, no one's out and it's just street lights and the snow was coming down. It is beautiful for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoyable. No. But
how was the drive down the trip to Scott City? You were really concerned about that. You got down there safely. I know that because you called to ask me a question and you were there. So I was curious, how was the drive back? Obviously, you made it back safely because you're here this morning.
It was better than it was driving back from Goodland last week.
Yeah,
much better. There was really nothing. Right as I got to Colby, I went to McDonald's, got some food, and then right after pulling away from McDonald's, that's when it really started to coming down pretty hard. But there was nothing in there was really no snow in Scott City until I had left, I guess. I don't know what it looks like there now, but yeah, no, it was fine. It was a pretty smooth drive back from Scott City last night.
So what time did you pull into the McDonald's drive-through? What time was that roughly?
10, a little past 10, probably.
A little past 10 o'clock Central Time. That's actually pretty early, than I think. So you're in there at 10. What is the 10 o'clock late night order for Max Gershon at Mickey D's?
I get myself a double cheeseburger, but only onions.
Only onions?
Yeah, I don't like, there's sometimes I like all of it, but I don't like pickles. That's for sure. No pickles. I hate tomatoes. And I don't like ketchup or mustard on my burgers. So it's really only at McDonald's I do that. I love
bread, meat, and onions.
Well, and cheese.
Oh, and cheese.
And cheese. And cheese. And then I get fries, and then I get their warm chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
Because those are, they have the best cookies. It's, you can say whatever you want about McDonald's food, and I 100% get it. And I agree. And it's really mostly a late night snack for me when I'm driving home from because what happens is I hear Joel's ad. For McDonald's where he does the jingle 80 times in the ad. And I'm like, yeah, it does sound good. It does sound good. So then I drive home and those cookies, man, they're fresh, warm. They like melt in your hand. They're good. They're good. There's no denying they're good. So yeah, that's what the order looks like.
Interesting. 10 o'clock and a meal that size, definitely not up my alley. No way.
Maybe not 10 years from now, but I still got it in me.
Enjoy it while you're still,
I've got a few, a few more left.
Drinking age. Well, I'm glad you had a safe trip back from Scott City.
Thank you.
I'm glad everyone is back. Hope everyone is safe. That's in listening here this morning. Raleigh's all bundled up. Raleigh drove the tractor in this morning again. He's going to go move snow. What a trooper. He's all bundled up. He's got his overalls and he's got 10 layers on. He looks great. He's going to go get in his little tractor that has a makeshift cab that he's built for it. It's great.
A true Western Kansas.
Oh, he is. He is true.
Absolutely.
Western
Through
Kansas,
and through.
Raleigh Halligan. Shout out, Raleigh. There he goes. He's outside. He's headed to the tractor right now.
Are we going to see him in the window?
No, I don't think so. It'd be great if he came by and waved. That'd be awesome. But no, he's getting in the cab right now, the tractor.
Gotcha.
He's got, he leaves it, you can't turn that off because it'll gel. So you have to let it run.
Right.
So I get here this morning, I pull in and the tractor's there running on idle,
Good for him.
So great to see that. It makes me feel like home. Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Did all that kind of stuff growing up. So it's pretty funny with Raleigh Halligan. Once again, it's a very, very cold day for those who are living under a rock. I mean, temperatures are only going to reach, I think I saw today the high is going to be 1 degree. Right now, -7 here in Goodland, America. Pretty much no school for a lot of the listening area, except to the south. If you're in Sharon Springs, Wallace County, Weskin, Tribune, Greeley County, I think Wichita County does not have school today. But I know Burlington over in Colorado, they have a 2-hour late starts for those schools that I mentioned. Everywhere else, pretty much shut down. Anything from Goodland and Colby to McCook, Rollins County to Decatur, Committee, Wheatland, Grinnell, Norton. Pretty much no one's having school today, whether it's because of the road conditions or the extreme cold. Take your pick.
So a lot of 4-day, or what would that be? Yeah, 4-day weekends because of President's Day for some.
Yeah,
schools?
I mean, yeah, you're right. It is a 4-day weekend, and the better part of that is it's a 3-day week.
Right.
When you get to Wednesday. So
that's true.
So once again, if you're curious on what is going on today, what is not, shout out to Christina. She does a phenomenal job keeping things up to date on the NWKS radio closing and cancellations. They post it to Facebook, but the best place to go is nwksradio.net and go to events and then area closing and cancellations. There's also a big old blue logo that you can usually find on the front page there that'll tell you. But yeah, go to area closing and cancellations underneath events, and you can see all of the school closings that are currently right now and other events, like the Sunshine Bakery in Oakley is closed for those who want to know. Logan County Health Department is closed this morning. So there's plenty of things that are closed. And once again, I think the further you go east, the worse it's going to get. I think out here on the very western half, we're kind of getting a light dusting, although it is snowing right now. And I'm guessing we've probably seen a total of 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches in some spots.
Pretty heavy here.
Okay, it's not as light here. I mean, my guess is a consistent 2 to 3 inches right now.
Yeah,
but snowing at this point in time, very hard.
Yeah, that's what it's the same here.
So anyway, that's kind of an update. And once again, nwksradio.net, the place to go here on this Tuesday and tomorrow to keep you updated on what's all going on and what is not going on. And once again, an extremely cold day today. High expected to be around 1. And so if you don't have to go outside, I would say don't. Just stay inside and stay warm today. What would you do on a typical snow day as a kid in Kansas City? Was it a lot of Xbox or PlayStation, or what were you doing on a snow day?
Yeah, I mean, once you get to like high school days, yeah, we're hopping straight on Fortnite. Freshman year of high school, we're hopping straight. I mean, we're well. First of all, we
was
get
that 8 straight out. Was that a work day of Fortnite? 8 straight hours?
Probably something like that. Maybe a lunch break if we want. We would probably, you get the text at 10 o'clock. You're getting ready for bed. You get the text, and then you text everyone like, "Oh, get on the games, get on the games."
So you go all night.
Oh, and then you go all night. So I mean, then high school, and then I mean, as a kid, as a little one, I don't even know. I can't even remember.
Did you have a sledding spot?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there were some different spots. Yeah, there were a couple spots, but nothing like nothing that I can remember that was too like that was the spot. There wasn't like one spot. There was just a couple of hills, that people would find in front of buildings, and that everyone would go to. But yeah.
Did you ever go? Maybe this place isn't open, but when I was in college, there was a place down there. I think it's northwest of Kansas City a little bit. It's like a little snow mountain little place that has
Snow Creek.
Snow Creek. Did you ever go there?
Oh yeah. So I was terrible at. I think I had a lesson there to try to learn how to ski, and I was just so terrible. And stuff like. But there's that big ice hill that you get in like a tube, and you just go flying down. That was the best part of Snow Mountain. That thing is huge. That's the best part of Snow Creek. Yeah.
When I was in college, I think it was a Saturday, and there was a big snow, and stuff, and we load up in a car, and we're like, let's go down there and let's go skiing.
Yeah.
So we did. We loaded up in a car, and I think it was 6 of us went down there. 6, 8 of us drove down there, got all of our gear, got up on the hill, and it just started dumping snow. I mean, dumping. I mean, you were skiing in whiteout conditions. It was fun. We had a lot of fun, but then we had to get back home. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably, I'm guessing, 3 hours. We probably got back at like 2:30 in the morning. It
Yeah.
took forever because you can ski in the dark there with the lights and stuff.
Right. I don't know if I've actually ever been there because it's fake snow.
Right.
So I
Right.
don't know if I mean, I'm sure there's one time, but it's usually it's just cold out. It's not really snowing, but you're in all this fake snow. But yeah, Snow Creek.
Anyway, interesting stories from the past there, and talking about snow here on the very chilly Tuesday morning. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us on the Morning Blitz today. Riley Gates will join us from On3 Sports. I've got a question for him about an interesting article that the Athletic had. I got to send that to Max during the break about the Athletic and the Big Ten and the SEC meeting and trying to control college football with this big meeting that's going on in New Orleans. Get Riley Gates' thoughts on that. Wells gets his thoughts on the Kansas State Wildcats, who lose their second consecutive game and have officially, barring a run in the Big 12 tournament, been eliminated from the NCAA tournament. I believe with the loss there. We'll get to that and some more college basketball as KU plays tonight over at BYU, a challenging game for the Jayhawkers. But I want to start, of course, off with last night, high school basketball last night, some high school hoops. A split last night in Scott City for Colby. The girls, close win. As I said before, Scott City is a good basketball team that has been very close in a lot of games, has just not been able to pull it out. And last night was another prime example. It was a 49-47 game?
Absolutely.
And it was right there at the very end, and they had a chance to win it if they could have made a shot there at the end of the game. But Colby prevails when it's all said and done. And then Colby leads at half, but then can't pull it out in the end. They lose by 11 down at Scott City. Your thoughts on last night's games down there in Scott?
Well, you know what? Now that you're saying, it's kind of funny because so the girls were up 11 against Scott City at half, and then they won by 2. The boys were up 2 at half and ended up losing by 11 to the boys in that game. But the girls' game was very interesting. The girl, Scott City's defense was fantastic throughout that entire game, and it was by far the most physical game I've seen the Lady Eagles been forced to play against anyone. That Scott City team was forcing jump ball after jump ball, and there was bodies flying across the court. It was physical. It was a very, very physical game, and it was good to see both teams really. You could tell they both wanted that game like it was a playoff game. They both really did. I think this Lady Beavers maybe a little more at points in the second half than the Lady Eagles, but still the physicality was 100% there, and it was really fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, their defense was the story of the game. They were forcing a lot of long passes and double teaming and forcing some tough shots. But the Lady Eagles do what they have done all season long, and they have found ways to win in every single scenario. Close games at the end, defensive battles, offensive battles. Barn burners, doesn't matter. They find the ways to win, and that's exactly what they did. Logan Nolan had a really big corner 3 at the end of that game. Some big free throws from Bryn Stanley. Elizabeth Barton had a good game through and through, getting to the free throw line a lot. And they just, prevailed at the end. Scott City had a chance. Avery Lewis was incredible the whole game. Really, the second half, she was incredible, I should say. But they had a chance. They were down by 3 with 20 seconds left. Had a long possession. She had a chance. She thought about taking a 3. I still think she should have taken it because she had been making them all game, and she passed it away, and it was a turnover. It went in the backcourt. But really fun game to watch. And talking to Coach Walker, I got a clip of that interview because it was great. He said a lot of great things, but he was talking about how impressive this season has been, and they have a chance to do something no one has done since the league went to playing playing each team twice a year, and that's go undefeated and win 12 games in the GWAC. They have a chance to be the first. So big game on Friday, and just continued excellence from the Lady Eagles basketball team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been good. And I got Scott City, just a side thought here. That's a team that I don't think anybody wants to play in the postseason. That is not a team.
They're tough.
They're tough. When they get going from the outside and they knock down their shots, you don't want to play that team. So that is a team I would circle no matter where they end up, in which bracket and what seed they are. Be like, I'm not going to be shocked if they're playing for a sub-state title or they've made their way somehow, some way there. That's a first-year head coach and Coach Farreau, who's done a great job with that program. and he's got a good team. And I don't think you want to face them in the postseason. They are really good. And Colby, like I said, Colby's that team where to an extent, the 17-2 record is very impressive. They have, like you've said before many times, they have found ways to win. And I'll be very intrigued as the postseason plays on how that trend continues for them, because they have found ways to win.
Yeah.
For Colby.
And it's not, like I said, it's not the same way every time. It's different in every game. But that was the first game where they really needed to hit some clutch shots. I feel like they'd always been playing up in those late game scenarios, and it's just like, all right, ball control. Don't turn the ball over, play some defense, get some free throws, you'll win. But this game they were down, and in the fourth quarter they had to hit a big shot, and there was Logan Nolan in the corner for a three. And it was
it was the first game where they were down and they had to make big shots. I mean, in my recollection, there's probably some other ones, but I know in like the Goodland game the last time here at the Max, that was a close game. I mean, it was within I think, 3, and there was the great 3 from Allie Flanagan, which put them back up by 6. They've hit clutch shots, but to be down and hit those clutch shots,
it's a different story. It's a different pressure when you're down and you have to hit a big shot instead of being up and you're trying to hit a big shot to pad the lead. Completely different feeling going on in your head when you have to shoot that ball. But yeah, good stuff from them. And then on the boys' side, quickly, they kind of, the first time these two teams met, it was a 51-47 final score. Colby beating Scott City, and Scott City wasn't hitting their shots, and they kind of fell into the style of play that Colby wanted to play in, which was, just slower possessions in general. And then this game, it was more of Scott City's pace of hitting threes, offensive score, higher scoring, especially in the first half. And Colby was able to keep up with them in the first half, and then the second half just came around and Colby just wasn't knocking down the shots like they were in the first, and Scott City was, and they pulled away somewhat quickly into that second half. And really that was the difference of the game. Scott City's got a bunch of shooters, and with Jackson Rumford, who, by the way, had 3 fouls going into halftime, and you were 1 foul away from him being out for the majority of the second half, probably 2. And they couldn't draw the 4th foul, and I think that was really the difference of the game, because if you give him 4 fouls and he's out, you can really go to Guy Tubbs for the remainder of the game, but didn't happen, and it resulted in an 11-point loss.
Such a heady player. I mean, it takes a really good player to have 3 fouls and to not pick up the 4th in the second half.
And there were chances where they did try to attack, and hands up, credit to him. And he's got a good shot too. He's got a good 3-point shot.
Well, he's great. We've talked about before. Jackson Rumford is highly skilled. There are reasons why many junior college basketball teams want him.
Yeah.
There's football teams that want him. There's colleges that want him for his golf. They want him for, there's colleges he could do a lot. And he's very highly skilled. So a split last night for Colby. Goodland gets a sweep of Syracuse. Both games, the Cowboys and the Cowgirls found themselves down early. Part of the reason, at least in the girls' perspective, it was senior night. So they were playing to get this start, which I always love this, get the seniors in, even the ones that don't play a whole lot, get them in, let them get some minutes to start. And Bill Bierman put in a couple of seniors that don't play a ton. And they were playing a little bit of a different defense than they're used to. And credit to Syracuse, they came out and buried 3 threes. Emily Pena Montez buried 3 triples. Boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, Goodland's down, I think, 9-2. Get about 5 minutes in, or 4 minutes into the game. Cowgirls sub in. They get a couple other players in. Goodland gets it back. They still trail at the end of the first quarter, but they outscore Scott City the rest of the way, 46, I think, to 12 the rest of the game, and took care of business. Hope Bierman had a career night. I think she had 17 points, which was a career high for her. Knocked down 3 threes, that I think was a career high in threes made in a single game for her. So she played very, very well. Cowgirls took 26 threes, which is way too many than what they probably need to do, but they made 7 of them, which tied a season high. But the Cowgirls struggled with a little bit with that zone defense that was thrown at them at times, but they just found a way, kept chipping away, and they get a nice win and improve to 13-6 with that win. And once again, they need all the help from like other teams, if they want to climb up into that 4 seed, right now sitting as the 5 seed in the regional, in the sub-state regional bracket, or right now number 5 in the regional standings, I should say. And on the boys' side, Going into this game, we knew that Syracuse was a ranked team and a really good 2A squad, and Goodland, of course, being a top-ranked 3A team. And it was a very competitive game throughout. Syracuse played very well. For practically 3 quarters, Syracuse hung around, was only down by 6 or 8 going into the fourth quarter. Goodland pulled away in the fourth to get the win. Lincoln Cure had some high-flying dunks. Brady Brumbaugh had 19 points. Those two guys got him. Blair Lennon had a huge game inside. 12 points, 7 boards. Cowboys had a size advantage inside. They just really couldn't execute it very well, it seemed like, until the fourth quarter. Credit to Syracuse. But Coach Mikey Dahl talked about how ball reversal was a big issue. They didn't reverse the ball enough to get the ball where they needed to get a good entry into the post. They started doing that in the fourth quarter a little bit more consistently, and that led to Blair Lennon getting some layups under the basket. And so it was another good win for Goodland, and really a good test. It was a good test. I mean, the postseason, you could almost say, for Goodland kind of started last night because Syracuse is a ranked 2A team. Friday is the monster game against Holcomb. GWAC title on the line. If you're the Goodland Cowboys, you got to win that game in order to win a GWAC title. Holcomb beat you in the first meeting. If they beat you here, you both finish with the same record and in the GWAC, and that means that Goodland's probably not going to win the GWAC title, which the Cowboys trying to win their first ever GWAC title if they could get the win on Friday down at Holcomb, which will be tough. Holcomb's a tough place to play, and that's a good basketball team. But like kind of they say, I was thinking about this last night as I was getting ready to go to bed. The postseason kind of began last night. A really good Syracuse team, now a really good Holcomb team coming up, and then the official postseason begins where you lose, it's over. And so you better have all your screws tight and your big boy pants on because it's time to go to work if you're going to try and accomplish the goals that you want to get going. And that started last night, and Cowboys get it done when it's all said and done. That's another step up in competition on Friday. So Cowboys with the win last night there over Syracuse. So the final scores, once again, Goodland beating Syracuse 50-28 in the girls' side. Boys scores, it was 59-44 when it was all said and done. Goodland with the win over Syracuse. Some other scores from last night. Oakley took on Hayes TMP in Hayes. Oakley girls with a close 55-49 win. Boys losing 64-36. Hoxie was in Ellis last night in one of the cool gymnasiums, I think, in Western Kansas there in Ellis. Just unique. 48-23, Lady Indians win. And then Hoxie just beating Ellis in the boys' game 63-60. Another couple scores. Quinter over Trigo, 67-26 in girls. Boys score 45-40. Quinter with the win. And then the score of the night. Shout out to listener Larry who texted me last night. Tri-Plains Brewster lost to Dighton at Tri-Plains Brewster last night 108-8. 108-8.
What?
Yes, 108-8. This to me is not a bad look on Tri-Plains Brewster. It's been a rough year. Look, who in the heck puts up 108 points when the other team doesn't even have 10? What happens there? I don't know the whole scenario. I don't know the center wasn't there. Don't know what happened. But 108-8 in a high school basketball game with the fourth quarter clock running continuously. How did that happen? How did that happen is what I want to know. I don't know.
Goodness. Yeah, here it is.
I don't know how that happened. 108-8.
That's, after they only scored. Well, it looks like they only scored, according to Max Preps, they only scored 11 points in the fourth quarter.
I mean, I get it. You mean, my gosh, can't you put the JV in at the second quarter? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know. Maybe they were in there. Maybe the JV is just really good for Dighton.
Maybe it was senior night.
I don't know.
Maybe it was senior night.
This was in Tri-Plains Brewster, so it'd be their senior night.
It would have been.
Yeah, I think it was.
37 in the first, 33 in the second, 27 in the third. Does that even equal 108?
I don't know. Well, like I said, I still can't believe that score.
That's ridiculous.
8. That is a lopsided as it will get. And then a couple quick things before we get to break, and Riley Gates will join us. Decatur Community at Wheatland Grinnell, that game has been canceled. Those games have been canceled from what I've been told. Rollins County is going to host Golden Plains. That was supposed to be tonight, and it's been moved to Thursday because Rollins County is getting a lot of snow. And then tonight, there are a couple games scheduled. You have Wallace County at Wichita County and Weskin is at Greeley County. I believe those games are scheduled for tonight because I don't think the snow is as bad further to the south. So I believe those games, as far as I know, are still on for today. That's as far as I know, which, once again, I don't know a whole lot. But there you go. Some high school basketball from last night. Also yesterday, early on in a full day of basketball at the Max, Fort Hays Tech Northwest women lose 73-66. They are now just 1-23 on the season. And then Chase Harris with a ridiculous stat line for the Tech Tiger men in a 90-86 win over Pratt. 39 points, 11 rebounds. But 39 points on 34 shots. They're bumping that line there where it took almost just as many shots to get to the points. You're getting really close. But 39
Was
points.
that against Pratt?
That was against Pratt.
Okay, so him in eternity with similar stat lines against Pratt. 36-17, 39-11. Good stuff.
I think there was a double-double also in there, I think for Q Dixon. I think he might have had a double. No, he had double-digit rebounds, not double-digit points. But nonetheless, a win there for the Tech men who have won 2 in a row. They're 10-14 on the season. And Tech is scheduled to be in action on Wednesday down at Dodge City as they hit the road. So there you go. A little bit of basketball from yesterday. Let's get to a break. We'll come back. Riley Gates going to join us next to talk lots of other interesting sports, including Kansas State basketball and some college football talk next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz here on a snowy Tuesday morning.
Your Cheyenne County Hospital in St. Francis offers you a quality rehabilitation department. This includes a variety of staff that provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, aquatic therapy, speech therapy, and women's health. To schedule an appointment, call 785-332-2104. Again, that's 785-332-2104. The Cheyenne County Hospital on 210 West Street in St. Francis.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Kate Thompson with the Anderson Trade Group. Today is Tuesday, February 18th. Today, March corn higher 2 3/4 at $4.99. May up 2 3/4 at $5.11 1/2. July up 3 at $5.14 1/4. September up 1 3/4 at $4.77. March soybeans up 2 1/2 on the overnight at $10.38 1/2. May up 2 3/4 at $10.55 1/4. July up 2 3/4 at $10.71. August beans up 2 1/2 at $10.68. Chicago wheat, the March contract lower a cent at $5.99. May down 1 3/4 at $6.11 3/4. July down 2 1/4 at $6.23. September down 2 1/4 at $6.36 1/4. Kansas City wheat, the March contract lower 3 1/2 at $6.17 3/4. May down 4 at $6.28 3/4. July down 4 at $6.38 1/2. September hard wheat down 3 1/2 at $6.51. On the stock market this morning, the Dow up $72 at 44,710. The S&P up 24 at 6,156. The Nasdaq up 111 at 22,307. Gold higher $32.90 at 2,933. Crude oil up 23 cents a barrel at $71 even. If you have any questions about marketing grain, would like to talk about risk management options, give our Colorado office a call. John Hanke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or in our Kansas City office, myself, Tom Splitto, Jared Law, or Tyler Dosh at 913-748-3000.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
LivestockMarket.com offers all the tools you need for a successful production sale. The easy-to-use online platform makes it super easy to take bids from anywhere in the world. Buyers can place pre-bids and real-time bids, browse your sales catalog, and watch your sale broadcast live. LivestockMarket.com is also the ideal platform for private treaty sales and timed online-only auctions. There's no easier way to find buyers for cattle, horses, sheep, and hay. Sell on your terms today with LivestockMarket.com.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Kansas farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher gross
from Traeger and Weber. And don't let the snow slow you down. Check out the great selection of snowblowers from Ego and Toro. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby, your partner for a productive new year.
You're listening to the High Plains only local sports talk show.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The Morning Blitz.
We're back here on a Tuesday morning, 8:39 Central, 7:39 in the Mountain Time Zone on this February 18th. Pretty much no school for most listening area. NWKSradio.net, the place to go for the place to find any kind of closing and cancellations. The snow has lightened up here outside the KKCI studio, so it's not as heavy as it was earlier when the show was rolling, but still expect snow flurries to come down off and on. Waiting patiently on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware hotline, our friend from On3 Sports, Riley Gates, who probably wishes he was still in Hawaii, which is where he was, I believe, a week or two ago, right?
Yes, sir. We landed Sunday, and that was like right when the cold made its return. So, hey, welcome back to Kansas. Hope the vacation was good. Here's the cold.
How do you handle flying back from Hawaii to Kansas? Do you wear pants? Do you wear shorts? Well, how do you handle flying back? That's always a tricky situation, going from warm to cool climates.
Yeah, I put shorts on to go to the airport. I changed into my sweats once I got in the airport. Because, like, you're inside, it's like, okay, sure, it's warm, but it's not like the airport is, like, open and you're just sitting in the sun. So, like, once we were inside, I was like, I'm going to put my sweats on, and I did not regret it. We connected in Dallas. I was like, okay, it's a little chilly, but it's still warm. And then when we got to Wichita, I was like, yep, I'm glad I did this. This was a smart decision by me.
This is the second year you've gone to Hawaii, right?
Yeah, so we didn't go last year because that was like right when they had those fires that kind of took over the area we go to. But my wife's family actually, like, there's a resort there. It's called Napili Kai. And they've gone pretty frequently over the years, kind of growing up and stuff. They I think they're on the board there or something like that. So yeah, they're pretty frequent there. I think that's kind of a place that we might continue to try to visit every maybe every other year or something like that in February. It's a lot of fun. And once you get through the time change and you get used to the fact that, like, the world's going at 6 a.m., it's not too bad.
You know what's great, Riley, is you married up, man. I mean, think about this. You married up. You're going to Hawaii. You're going to the lakes all the time. I mean, you really married up. You really did a heck of a job. Way to go. Congratulations.
Well, I mean, I didn't need to double confirm that for me. I already knew that. But yeah, no, you nailed it on the head. I mean, but it also can ask that way. You know, she's KU first. So that kind of does factor into it as well. It's taken into that account.
There you go.
Well, hopefully she has a better night tonight than you had last night for your Wildcats, losing 74-69 to Utah. Boy, what are your thoughts on that? And just these last couple of games. Hey, at K-State, it had all the momentum, looking like they were going to make a tournament run if they could stay on this heater, and that's pretty much come to an end after last
That's what I was going to say. Does it make it worse that they were hot and now they just lost that game? Does it make it worse? Do you wish they just had lost all those games coming up to this point?
No, I don't think you want to lose, because it was, I mean, admittedly, it was kind of fun to, like, have something to cheer for and see what this team was supposed to be all year. Like, that's what they were against KU, against Arizona. Like, that's the team that K-State fans were promised this year. That's the one that they got excited about. And it was really fun to watch them. So no, I don't think it's like, oh man, I wish we would have just not gotten hot. It's so frustrating because at the start, it was like, it's frustrating because we know what it could be, and it's just not happening. And then you get frustrated now because you're like, I saw it, and there was the great opportunity, and then it just didn't happen. You know, you had to go 1-1 in this stretch at worst. You just had to win one of them, and your chances are alive. You go home, you play a little bit of an easier schedule, and, you know, at the end of the day, you got a chance to make a name for yourself, to make an argument. And now that argument's just gone. I mean, I see people saying, like, oh, you know, if they went out the rest of the way, they'll still kind of be around the bubble. Like, no, like, it's over. It's over. Unless they go into Kansas City, you know, maybe if they went out and then they make a deep run in Kansas City, then maybe they have a resume. But A, I still think that's a long shot. And B, okay, let's play this make pretend game where like they do that. What about this team makes you think that's even possible? I mean, they just got spanked by BYU. They played awful against you. That game was, I don't care what the final score was. Utah shot like 3 of 21 or something from 3 like that. Like if they hit half of those, K-State loses by 15. So, no, I mean, it's over. You can enjoy the next 5 games, enjoy whatever they do in Kansas City. Hopefully they don't get or accept an NIT bid, because frankly, I'm just kind of done with this team. I kind of got, like I said, I got invested to them again. It was fun, but when it mattered most, they failed to show up.
Rebounding was the biggest stat last night, 51-28, including 21 offensive boards for Utah, led to 14 second chance points. That was the stat of the game right there. Anyway, Max, what do you got?
I was going to say,
Can I just jump in there real quick, Rob?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what's so frustrating about rebounding, especially, I'm just going to speak from a K-State perspective, just growing up that way. Rebounding is an effort stat. Yeah, you get some rebounds
Yeah.
You're bigger and you can reach and get them, but rebounding is about effort. And I think any kid that grows up watching basketball knows that. And K-State is a fan base that values effort. If you lose every single game, but you look like you're trying your hardest, they're going to be mad, but it's not like they're going to just quit on you. And I think that's what was so frustrating for people last night, is it just didn't even look like they wanted to be on the floor. And it kind of encapsulated this whole season is a lot of times they just haven't looked like they care. And that's a really easy way to disconnect from this fan base. So yeah, you're right. That was so telling of everything.
What, through the frustration obviously is of being a K-State fan right now, what do you think the main lesson that Jerome Tang and everyone involved in the K-State program is going to take out of this year?
That's a great question, because I want to say that the lesson is you need to get guys that buy in. I don't think there's any debate that Coleman Hawkins hasn't bought in. I don't think there's any debate that it took Doug McDaniel 2 months to buy in. So I would say buy in, but how are you going to get guys to buy in if you just keep hitting the transfer portal to build your team? They don't have a high school signee right now. There's no freshman coming in that they can just start from ground zero and build a culture around. So that needs to be the lesson. Hey, buy in from day one and we'll get going and we'll be a good team. But there's no reason to believe next year is going to be any different. And I don't even care if they get the number 1 guy in the portal again next year, because it didn't go well for him this year. I don't like the way that this program is being built right now, because at the start it was, okay, we got some good high school commits. We'll use the portal to help build it up a little bit, strengthen it. And now it's just become a portal team. And it's what, February 18th today. And they don't have like I said, they don't have a signee. I just don't know how you build a culture like that. And so I could be proven wrong. He could hit the portal. He could get a bunch of guys that buy in, and next year it could be great. But if there's anything the last 2 years have shown me is that, A, they're not very good at recruiting out of the transfer portal, and B, the guys they get, they have a terrible read on.
It's hard to do that too. I know Ross is about to say it, but it's hard to get guys to buy in when you're buying them. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
This is the crummy part about college sports now, is that simple reason right there. I mean, you could, guess what, Riley? You could get a great recruiting class, but those guys could go to the portal after 1 year. There's no guarantee. Like, we were visiting with Wyatt Thompson last week, and, we were talking about, what's exciting to look for next year. Well, you don't really know, because you don't know if anyone's going to be back off of this year's team. You have no clue. Yeah. Every year is starting over fresh.
Yeah, and it's a major issue. It's something that I don't envy them having to deal with. The only rebuttal I have to that is, well, why doesn't everybody struggle with it? I mean, every other team is also going through these issues. Let's look at Kansas. I mean, I know Kansas is having a bad year, but they're going to the tournament. They're a top 16 seed right now. They built a lot of people out of the portal. Why is this year not just an abhorrent disaster for KU like it's been for K-State? And that's I guess what's frustrating is I think you understand there's struggles that come with the portal day and age, but when you spend the money that K-State spent and you build it the way that and not just to build the roster, but to keep the coach, this isn't acceptable.
Riley Gates, our guest from On 3. You know, our resident KU fan on this show, Max, would say that this year is a disaster for KU. He would say it is a disaster.
Well, okay, but it's a different it's different coming from a KU fan than a K-State fan, just because, you know, it's comparing, it's apples and oranges a little bit, you know. But I will say, is your view of Jerome Tang as like, not necessarily I mean, he is the future of K-State basketball, but as your view of him as a head coach shifted because of this season?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of it. Now let's give fairness to him. When you come in year one and you go to the Elite Eight and you beat KU after just years of like of apathy, it's a little unfair because you set the bar super high. So it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe we're regressing back to the means a little bit. But yeah, my view has obviously changed. Like I've mentioned the recruiting struggles. I don't think he's a very good portal recruiter, and I think he has for some reason abandoned his high school recruiting, which is maddening to me. He cannot coach offense. I thought once Kansas State moved on from Bruce Weber, we would go back to seeing this team score, and we did in year one. They don't do anything. They dribble the clock out for 25 seconds, and then they chuck up something out of desperation. And I'll open myself up to being wrong if something happens here, but they're not going to make any staff changes. I mean, I think he has a very close, tight-knit guys that he is familiar with his personal background, and the type of human being that Jerome Tang is will not fire them because he doesn't want to put someone's family in a bad situation. And that's going to hurt him in life because this is not a great staff. It's just not. They don't have anybody, like I said, that can create an offense. I don't really hear anything about people going out on the recruiting trail and being a killer. You know, the past staffs had that. Chris Lowry had connections in St. Louis. Chester Frazier had connections to kind of like the Illinois, the Chicago area. It just, there's nobody out there that on this staff that I look at and go, oh, if K-State lost that assistant coach, it would be a problem. So I think staff changes need to be made to show that you're a serious coach about fixing your problems, but it's not going to happen. So unfortunately, you're stuck with it. I was actually just texting some friends about it this morning about how if next year they miss the tournament again, it's like, do you make a change? And it's like, I don't think they can afford to make a change. With as much money as they're dumping into the program, with as much money as football is going to cost moving forward, I don't think you can afford to pay $17 million to have someone not coach for you. But also at the same time, when do you draw the line on, yeah, we can't afford to fire him, but I can't afford to keep pumping money into a program and having it fail. So, look, I'm not trying to like cast doom and gloom for the next 5 years of K-State basketball. I think things can still get turned around. I don't think Jerome Tang's done. But, I mean, if next year goes exactly like the last 2 years have gone, what are we doing?
Riley Gates, our guest here from On 3. No, there's no doubt. Kansas State's an interesting spot, and that's I think you're going to see same type of thing. You know, unless you're a powerhouse blue blood program, teams will have great years like they did in his first year, or they hit the portal and it's high success, and then you're going to have a lot of empty years like we've seen the last couple of years here for Kansas State. Riley, well, I'll let you go here after a question. There's an article in The Athletic from Stuart Mandel, and I saw your boy Andy Staples wrote something on this on your guys' website on 3. Talking about how the college football playoff, they're meeting, of course, in New Orleans here, and everyone's wanting to expand the playoff to go to possibly 14 or 16 teams, but the Big Ten and the SEC are pushing to fill 8 of the 16 spots. Your thoughts on the controlling factor of the two biggest conferences in college football?
I think it's disgusting that they find themselves entitled to that. I mean, look, most years we're going to have it be that way. And I think that's probably justified with the talent that's in both leagues. Like, the bigger the playoff gets, the more Big Ten and SEC teams will just naturally go in because they're good. They will earn their way in. But to ever suggest, if a school suggested, if a writer suggests, whatever, that like, these teams should get to automatically fill half of the playoff because they're so big and they bring in so much money. I mean, it's a joke. That would be, I mean, like that'd be like just reserving a playoff spot for the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens because they're always a powerhouse. Well, yeah, but they'll probably earn their way there anyway. And I just think it would send a message, A, to fans, and B, to the players of other teams that, like, you don't matter. You're not relevant to our sport anymore. And if that happens, if it starts trending that way, it's like, let's just get to this split earlier. Let's let the SEC and the Big Ten and Clemson, Notre Dame, let's just let them go do their thing. They can do their thing. You'll go do your own thing with the other teams. And I know that would suck. Like, I don't want that to happen at all. But if these changes happen, like, that's what I would want. Because, look, I'm a realist. Kansas State's probably never going to win a national championship in football in my lifetime. Kansas is probably not going to be there either. But, like, I like the concept that they can. I like the concept that Arizona State had a chance to knock off Texas this year and go to the semifinals, and who knows what happens after that. Like, and that just doesn't happen when you start reserving spots for other teams, and it shifts the matchups that other teams have. So I'm probably fighting a losing battle. Like, it's probably going to just keep trending that way because money is money, and that's what drives everything. But yeah, I would hate that.
Couldn't agree more. Riley Gates of On3 Sports. Thank you so much, Riley. Appreciate it. Stay warm and have warm Hawaiian thoughts. Maybe that'll help you. All right. We'll catch up soon.
Yeah, I'm going to go out in this cold and try to get a quick workout in before I get snowed in. So we'll see what happens. So I will probably end up driving home in bad snow.
The snow, the shoveling snow is a satisfying enough workout. Just stay home and shovel snow. You'll be fine.
That's outside.
Yeah, hey, it's all right. Bundle up. You'll be okay. Thanks, Riley. See you, buddy.
All right. Yeah, man, anytime.
Once again, great stuff there from Riley Gates. Great conversation and great stuff talking about Kansas State and college football. I could go on for a whole hour on both those topics for sure. All right, we got to get to a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap the show with the final thoughts next in the Blitz.
Big savings are waiting at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2025 GMC Sierra 2500 with 4.9% financing for 60 months, or drive off in a 25 GMC Sierra 1500 with $2,750 in rebates or 2.9% financing for 48 months. Plus, don't miss your chance to save big on their last hail vehicle, a 24 GMC Sierra 2500 Pro Diesel, originally just over $67,000, now just over $56,000. Deals this good won't last. Hurry to Hurl Chevrolet GMC today, or shop online at hurlchev.com.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment, or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
It's game time.
What time is it? Game time!
You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
So Kansas State, of course, last night, 74-69, a loss there to Utah. Talked about the rebounding being a huge issue for Kansas State. Hopefully, I mean, if the trend continues, Kansas is going to bounce back with a win tonight. I mean, that's what the last 8 games have told us. They've gone win-loss, win-loss. They've lost. Now they bounce back in a very tough place to play there in Provo, taking on BYU, who is in the tournament conversation. I think they're inside the bubble at this point in time is BYU. But I don't know. All your feelings on tonight's game, Max? I would feel decent. I mean, it is a win type game. I mean, it's on the up. It's after a loss, so they should win this. Right?
Now you're gonna kill me for saying this, and it's rightfully so. It's rightfully so. I deserve to be killed for saying this, but I just opened my phone during the break, and it was weird and uncomfortable to see a 23 next to the name Kansas. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. It was just It's weird saying that high of a number next to Kansas's name. I'm not used to it, and it makes me a little mad. Okay? I don't think they're going to win tonight.
Interesting.
They can prove me wrong, but I don't think they're going to win tonight.
Man, going to drop out of those top 16 seeds.
They should be out of the top 25 already. Just drop them out. Just drop them out. They drop them out. They'll be a what? What is it if you're out of the top 25? A 5 seed?
Probably
6 seed.
6 seed, probably.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah,
better than K-State though. That made me feel good. Riley Gates. I mean, shout out Riley, great guy. But hearing a K-State fan in my ears, like just being upset, made me feel a little better about KU's struggles.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been. We'll have to talk. I think we're going to talk about this tomorrow. You know, he talked about how how do you go about building a team, in today's college realm, and I think I don't know. We got to ask that question tomorrow. You know, do you build a team the old school way, or do you try to do the portal? What's the ideal way of building a team? We'll maybe discuss that, because I think that's a question that a lot of coaches at a lot of different sports are having in this day and age of college athletics. How do you build a team? How do you build a culture? How do you do that? It's very, very tricky. Also tonight, Colorado, by the way, they play Iowa State in Ames tonight. Tough game, trying to win back-to-back Big 12 games after winning their first one since 2014.
Yeah.
All right, on to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off Grady? Thomas to the 10. Difference going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Once again, another reminder, folks, ndbksradio.net, the place to go for closings and cancellations. Okay, stay up to date on what is happening today on what is a very cold and very snowy Tuesday here in February. Lots of news surrounding the Royals here over the last week or so. Extension for Cole Reagans and also for J.J. Piccolo. Your thoughts on these two signings there, Max?
Absolutely love it. You know, Cole Reagans avoids 2 years of arbitration with the $13 million. Great deal for the team. Great deal for him. Hopefully he is in Kansas City for longer than that, and hopefully he keeps playing good baseball. J.J. Piccolo, of course. I mean, the Royals would not have been where they were last year without him. So great to see him extended, and then they're talking about some maybe Matt Quatraro extensions here down the line. I'm just ready and excited to talk about some Royals baseball, Ross. I can't wait.
The weather says no, we should not talk baseball, but it is baseball.
The mind says yes, though. The mind says yes.
By the way, shout out to the FE Bank text line today. We had a listener from Canada. Shout out to that Canadian listener. Shout out. Thank you so much. Man is in Canada. And also, Mike chimes in, says he misses Curtis Duncan in weather like this. We all do. We all miss Curtis in weather like this. For Max, I'm Ross, and thanks again to Riley Gates. We'll see you here tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of the Morning Blitz. Stay warm.